Hi everyone, Vikas here again, your wisdom coach, coming to you with another dose of wisdom to keep you steady and stable as you go through this storm. There was a yogi once, and he was crossing a river on a boat. It was a massive boat, massive river, lots of people on that boat. And we're talking about old times, so the boat would take a couple of hours to get to the other side of the river. And what happens midway is that suddenly it gets cloudy and the thunder, lightning starts to happen, and then it starts to rain, cats and dogs, literally a lot of rain coming down. And the people on this boat are now getting really worried because it's still going to take time for them to get across to the other side. They're only halfway there. And the boat is heavy and the boat is starting to fill up with water because it's raining so much. So in panic, people start to throw that water out of the boat, right? In whatever way they can, using their hands, using any cups they have, they start to throw the water out of the boat. But in the middle of this, they see this yogi, and he's doing something really strange. He's very calm, he's very peaceful. And what he's doing is that he's reaching out into that river and he's taking handfuls of water and putting it on the boat. So this drives people crazy, and two young boys, they start shouting and screaming at this yogi, and they tell him, "What the hell are you doing? Are you trying to drown us?" But the yogi doesn't care. He's just taking very calmly, handfuls of water from the river, putting it on the boat. Anyway, this carries on for a little while. The yogi calmly putting handfuls of water on the boat, and the rest of the boat and these young men, panic. They're trying to throw the water out, right? In frustration, in panic, a frantic activity of trying to throw the water out. Well, then what happens is that eventually, suddenly, the clouds pass away. The thunder, lightning stops, and it stops raining. In fact, the clouds part and the sun comes out. So now it's sunny. And they still got a distance to go. So when everyone sees that the rain has stopped, they relax and they sit down, tired and exhausted, and they stop throwing the water out of the boat. And then they see that the yogi does something very strange. The yogi now, with his hands, is filling the water from inside the boat and throwing it out of the river. So the two young men who got angry at him, they tell him, they say, "Hey, you fool, what are you doing? There's no need to throw the water out now. When you had to throw the water out, you weren't throwing it out. You were doing the reverse. You were trying to drown us. And now, when the sun is shining, there's no need to throw the water out. You're throwing the water out and you're wasting your energy. Relax. You don't need to do anything. Don't be a fool." And the yogi calmly smiles and he turns to those two young boys and he tells them, he says, "The difference between you and I is about how we think, how big we think. You were thinking from your little perspective, and I've always been thinking from the perspective of life and the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it. You see, when it started raining, your thought was on what you wanted, and you were frantically trying to throw water out of the boat. My thought was on what God wanted. And I saw that nature wanted to fill water in the boat. So I decided to help nature rather than go against it. Now that the sun is shining, your thought is again on what you want. You want to relax and you want to take it easy. Let the sun do the work. My thought is on what does nature want? What does God want? What does life want? And life wants to dry the boat up, so I'm helping the boat to dry up. It's a beautiful story. Teaches you about the perspective, the mindset that we carry. Because mind and mindset and thoughts are the precursors of emotion. Thoughts precede emotions. Rule of life cannot be changed. So if you have panic, which is an emotion, it's coming from a certain thought before it. If you have fear, which is an emotion, it's coming from a certain thought before it. If you have calmness, peace of mind, it's an emotion, it's coming from a thought before it. Last time, in one of the earlier videos, I said, the obstacle is the opportunity, right? The obstacle is not a problem. It's the opportunity itself. So it's actually a positive thing. I see a lot of people out there, And there's so much noise. We live in a world of noise. And you get on social media, you get on LinkedIn, you get on Facebook, you get on Instagram, you get on anything. There's just noise, 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 noise. And people are talking, talking, talking. And everyone's releasing their emotions. Panic, fear, anxiety, stress. It's all out there. And you see that in the world. But is it an obstacle or is it an opportunity? What's the difference between an obstacle and an opportunity? I'll tell you what the difference is. The difference is perspective. The difference is your attitude. How do you see it? Because remember I said that the domestic abuse cases have shot up in France? Well, it's not just in France. Since that last video, I've seen news where it says that even in Australia, even in Japan, domestic abuse cases have shot up. And why is that happening? Because people are living together and they're spending all their time together because we are all in house arrest, aren't we, in a way? How's your house arrest going? I'm quite enjoying mine. How's your house arrest going? It all depends on your perspective. It all depends on your mindset. It all depends on your attitude. Make this obstacle not an obstacle, but an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to become better, and it's an opportunity for you to invest in 3 things, grow 3 things. Remember, I told you, grow 3 things. So you have to invest your time and energy. Number 1, in growing yourself. Growing yourself. Tell me, what have you been doing with your time? Have you been reading any good books? For those of you who have my books, a great book to pick up now is the Little Book of Happiness, the little Manual of Happiness. If you're thinking about how to grow your business or your future life, then the Little Manual of Success. Go and reread those books. Underline the important sections. Make your notes on the side. Send me photographs. Oh, by the way, talking about send me photographs, I want to acknowledge some people who have written back to us after my last video when I said that if you're watching this, reach out and let me know what you have enjoyed. And I want to acknowledge some people, from all over the world they've written. It's so amazing. Chia Lee from Singapore. Hi, Chia Lee. And Narjes and Farshid from Australia. They've written it. Georgie from the UK. Maria from Hong Kong. Susan from New York. And Harinder Bedi from India. Marilyn Crone from Johannesburg, South Africa, and from Singapore, a whole bunch of people, Tony Tan, CK, Michelle Lim, and so many more. Dana Isles from Romania. I mean, all over the world, people are writing in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so happy you're enjoying the videos, guys. Keep writing in and let me know. I mean, if you haven't written it yet, just let me know. Are you enjoying this? What are you enjoying about it? What are you benefiting from it? What's your big takeaway? I'd like to know. Is anyone listening to me, or am I just speaking to a world of emptiness? So how are you spending your time? How are you using this obstacle as an opportunity? Read a good book. If you have my books, read my books. If you don't have them, order them. Just go on the website, go on Amazon. Feed your mind with good stuff. You're watching these videos. Are you on my Facebook? Are you watching all the other videos that I'm putting out on anger, on stress? Because stress is such a big issue now, right? Stress. You know why? Because people are holed up. They're consolidated in a small space, right? They're isolated. They can't go out. They can't do activity, right? You have a lot of time. And actually that puts people in stress. When you're too close to someone and people are around you all the time, you have no private space. People are in stress. When you have 2 kids or 3 kids in the house, plus a helper, plus 2 dogs, oh my God, that's stress, right, for some people. And you know what stress does? It toxifies your immune system. Because literally, I teach this, that it's a scientific process. As soon as you start having thoughts of negativity, it creates emotions of stress. But what's also happening is a process which is called chemicalization. So actually your thoughts are triggering chemicals in your own brain function, which is now producing chemicals which are absorbed by your body. And that's also causing a lot of stress hormones, right? Adrenaline, cortisol, so many others. And that leads to mental health challenges. That leads to breakdowns, depression. Aggression. Because the opposite side of depression is aggression. That's why the domestic violence cases are going up. So how do you manage your mindset? How do you manage this stress? Well, an easy way is wisdom. An easy way is meditation. And thank you also for all the people who bought that meditation program, the link of which I had given, and those of you who are now going to be coached by me once a week. I'm going to be in your inbox inspiring you. Thank you for getting those programs. And if you haven't, take a look at that. An obstacle or an opportunity. It's all about attitude. It's all about perspective. It's all about mindset. Because, here's a truth for you, and let this be, in a way, my foresight. I'm sharing something with you. This virus is not going away. COVID-19 is not going away. It's here to stay. And you better be in it for the long run. You better be prepared for the long run, because this is not a sprint. It is a marathon. And in the marathon, you just have to get used to the running, right? You just have to get used to the running, because it's not finishing quickly. It's not ending fast. It's not going away. Here's my prediction. What's going to happen is that this pandemic is going to become an endemic. And what that means is a pandemic, which is at the moment this global crisis, is just going to become something that we have to learn to live with. It's something that we have to get used to. It's something that becomes a part of our background landscape. Okay? Just like the flu, just like the influenza, just like, people catch a cold, right? Just like every once in a while, your body aches and pains because you're exhausted, and you learn to live with it. So this is going to become an endemic, which means that it's going to be here year after year after year. But we are going to have to take precautions, and we are going to have to strengthen ourselves and become more powerful against it. Okay, and for that, there are so many other tips. I'll be sharing some with you. But here's the first thing we have to understand. If we have to learn to live with it and still perform, still go out and produce results and live our life, okay, not live in fear, then how are we going to do it? We have to have a strong immune system, and we have to have a strong mind. Remember, two things to protect. Number one, your health. Number two, your mental wealth, your mind space, your mindset. So I need to strengthen my immune system. Now, the immune system is strengthened, one, when I keep my mind in a positive place, because again, that chemicalization produces chemicals like endorphins, serotonin, melatonin, which actually strengthen my immune system. So meditation, staying in touch with the wisdom, watching these wisdom videos is going to help you to even strengthen your immune system. Just being in a positive state of mind strengthens the immune system. But have you noticed how when you put the news on, everyone's talking about the negativity? Everyone's talking about the negativity. But no one's really telling you how to strengthen your immune system, because that's defense number one. Defense number one is that you should have a strong immune system, because if you have a strong immune system, then it's not going to catch you. Right? But nobody's talking about how to create a strong immune system, because that is common knowledge and that doesn't sell. So everyone's talking about the fear and the problems and what they're going through and what can go wrong. Oh, why don't you just take care of your immune system and strengthen yourself? Defense number one, strengthen your immune system. And one great way of doing that, apart from eating good food and drinking good drink and being nutritious and exercise and health and enough sleep and all of this, another great way is to be positive in the mind space. Through meditation, through wisdom, through training your mind, through this connection. That strengthens your immune system. Look, I'm so happy, I'll tell you what. I mean, frankly, I'm being very honest here. I'm not unhappy at all. I'm not scared at all. Whatever may happen, it's okay. But I'm really happy for a number of reasons. One, I'm a nature guy. I love the earth. I see from the big eyes. I see like the yogi sees, right, in the story. So what is it? For me, it's the earth smiling. Nature is smiling. Animals are smiling. The planet is smiling. It's a return back to balance, because karma is also the law of balance. It's the law of cause and effect, but it's also the law of balance. So I'm really happy. The earth is rebalancing, resetting. The air is becoming cleaner. The animals are growing. They're propagating, and they're becoming more numerous. They're spreading their habitat, because we are in our homes. The water is becoming clearer, the air is becoming clearer, the earth, the soil is becoming more cleaner. Everything is rebalancing. So I'm quite happy. But here's another reason why I'm happy. I'm happy because now people like yourself and so many others are realizing the power and the importance of wisdom in their life. Really, truly, it is the greatest lesson to learn. And my whole life is driven by that. Wisdom is the greatest treasure to have. It's the greatest gift you can give yourself. But now I'm so happy that hundreds of thousands and millions of people are realizing what is real and what is not real. Your position is not real. If you're a CEO, guess what? Now you're stuck in your home. Your people are sitting in their homes. Your projects are on hold. What are you going to do? All your deadlines are pushed back. So your CEO role doesn't mean anything. Let's say you have millions of dollars in your bank account. What good is that for you now? What are you going to do? Order more? Shop more online? Order a bigger meal? So money has only a small relevance in our life, right? So what is with you when everything else is taken away? Your currency can be devalued. Your health can be destroyed, right? Your personal space can be taken away. Your position means nothing from one day to another. But the one thing, the one treasure no one can ever take away from you, the one treasure that will never be devalued, the one treasure that always appreciates, and the one treasure that is always faithful, it will always support you, is wisdom. And that's why I constantly tell people wisdom is the greatest treasure. Make it your number one priority in life. Everything else comes after that. And here's the beauty of it. When you have wisdom in your life, then happiness is easier. Love and loving relationships is easier. Creating wealth and abundance in this world in a sustainable way is easier. Because when wisdom comes in, it shows you the easy path. Minimum effort, maximum result. So I'm in a happy space. Look, I'm spending this time wisely. I'm investing in myself, growing myself. Like I told you, that's the first investment you should do. The second thing you must grow at this time is your own relationships. Whether it's with family, it's with your close partner, it is with your siblings, whoever it is, you want to grow those relationships at this time. You have the time to do it, so do it. All right, and the third thing you want to do is invest in your future. You want to study now, you want to learn now, you want to grow now, you want to plant the seeds now for the future that's coming. Because that is also going to happen, because my dear friends, the pandemic will become an endemic. We are going to learn to live with it. We are going to get out of our homes. They can't shut economies down. Companies can't shut down forever. Otherwise, we'll all have to go back to the old system where we live on the farms and grow our agriculture, grow our vegetables and fruits, and live off the barter system. Actually, that might not be such a bad idea. Just kidding. After the darkest night, the bright sun rises again. So remember, invest now to grow three things. Invest to grow yourself, invest to grow your relationships, and invest to grow your future. This is Vikas, your wisdom coach, reminding you that wisdom is the stabilizer of life. Bring wisdom into your life, make it your foundation. Make wisdom your foundation and grow your future on it. Because in the end, wisdom always wins. Come on, say it with me. Wisdom always wins. I send you my love. Bye now. I'll see you soon.